Hello Wastelanders, you are joining us today for part 3 of our examination of Lima Detachment, an epically scaled Mr.ColonelMustard mod that brings you a lot of Enclave content for your next Fallout 4 playthrough. But today we're going to look at some of the content that's not explicitly for the Enclave. It's really just about a lot of Fallout 3 throwback references that are amazing. So in this video today we'll be visiting 3 different sites, 2 Brotherhood of Steel sites, hello again Vicky, and 1 NCR site. So buckle up, these should be fun. The first place we're going to go is the Poseidon Reservoir, where we will find a Brotherhood outcast bunker hidden underneath. Let's go check that out. Arriving outside the Poseidon Reservoir, we'll have some ghouls to take out. That's nothing new. What is new is that I want to try some of these FEV grenades for you. I want to see how effective they are. I do see Enclave troops at the different outposts throwing them at enemies, and I couldn't get them to work very well, but we're going to give it another shot since I know these ghouls should be effective. As we throw the grenade, you can see a big green smoke cloud. Now these grenades are from the America Rising 2 mod, by the way. If you complete enough of that mod's main storyline, you'll be given some FEV grenades. Supposedly, they're really good against super mutants, ghouls, highly mutated humanoid creatures. That said, I see the cloud emanating out from the grenade right in the vicinity of this half-feral ghoul, and I don't see the ghoul seeming to take any damage. I don't know if it's just my account, if I'm doing it wrong, but these grenades don't do anything for me. I'm sorry to say. Alright, now maybe inside the reservoir we'll find, better results. Maybe I'll throw another couple of them around in here and just see what happens. I feel a little bit sorry for Peterson. He, as he says, ghouls always get him pretty freaked out. But hey, I needed some backup on this mission, so he stuck with me. Go get him, Peterson. You know what to do. If you're wondering where these half-feral ghouls are coming from that I'm encountering, it's because I have the Deadly Commonwealth expansion mod, and that adds a bunch of enemy types to the leveled list, including to things like ghouls. And I just love running into these half-feral ghouls that are equipped like, I don't know, like kind of high-end raiders or gunners. Alright, so there are a few more ghouls to mop up here on the ground floor of Poseidon Energy. You know how it goes. Another one of these half-feral ghouls packing a chain gun that's from another mod of mine, the Wasteland chain gun mod that I showed you in the Power Automatron video I came out with a couple days ago. It's kind of fun to see enemies packing that thing too.
These things are right out of a horror.
Now moving on, let's try one of these FEV grenades. This seems like a really good place for one. A couple of ghouls hanging out down there. I don't see why it shouldn't work against them. The cloud is up.
Shouldn't stand a chance.
Well, Peterson, you kind of ruined that. I don't know whether your shots killed that ghoul or whether the FEV grenade actually did something to it. So my findings are still inconclusive. Thanks for that. Now, once we've cleared this out, we can go into the decrepit bunker through the floor of the Poseidon Energy plant, and as we emerge from the tunnel, we see ghoul bodies just laying everywhere. And it is soon apparent who is responsible. Dramatically backlit is a figure in power armor packing a minigun, it would appear, that is probably responsible for all the ghouls laying around here, and he doesn't seem super friendly. I'm still going to try to talk to him though, since he does let me approach. Turns out he's in a talking mood.
You believe synths are replacing humans with exact duplicates? Makes me sick.
This area's off limits.
So is that the end of our conversation then?
Unless you like getting radiation sickness, I'd stay away from ferals.
Back off. Don't use the line!
Alrighty, I guess this is happening. This X9 Revenge plasma gun melted that guy like butter, but these spotlights are still annoying. Makes it pretty hard to target the turrets. Alright, let's see what we've got here. Looks like we're going to need to access this terminal to get inside. Access granted. Let's get in there and see what the Brotherhood outcasts are all about. Now, I like that this bunker is kind of beat up. We got a real army surplus kind of a vibe here. You know, the Brotherhood outcasts, they don't have the same kind of resources as the more mainstream Brotherhood soldiers. It's my understanding they broke away from Elder Lyon's Brotherhood of Steel because they didn't think he was focused enough on, like, dominance, technological dominance of the wasteland. Okay, what do we got here? Here's somebody looking for trouble. Oh, man. I don't know what's up. My plasma rifle just eats through the T-45 armor these guys are wearing like tissue paper. It's kind of ridiculous. Okay, so as we explore the bunker, it is decrepit. And speaking of decrepit, this T-45D, look at this. It just explodes, implodes, something as soon as I hit it with a plasma rifle. This is not that OP of a gun. It's just not. Interesting, right? But these Brotherhood outcasts, they sure do love having spotlights behind them. Makes it a little hard to target them. I'll give them that at least. I mean, if you're wearing tissue paper, you kind of need every advantage you can get. How cool is this lighting effect as he falls in front of the floodlight and it kind of like shifts the beams? I love that, actually. That's a really neat effect. Kind of meager stash here. Brotherhood outcasts aren't exactly living high on the hog, are they? All right, now as we move into another room, we'll try to catch these guys by surprise. We'll turn off our spotlight. And then, oh, well, almost got me with that. Outcast Protector. Nope, that didn't actually make him that much tougher, did it? Still went down in a couple of hits. But if you want a set of this tissue paper armor, they have some for you right here on this armor stand. Notice that Mr. Colonel Mustard likes to put DLC drops into these mods. That's nice. That's nice. It means I don't have to have already gone to the DLC to find things like a marine wetsuit or so on. Now, we also find a holotape here that tells us a little bit about what the Brotherhood outcasts are up to in this region, and it looks like they're trying to perfect FEV, a lot like what the Enclave is doing. You know, if they only joined forces, maybe they'd have a chance. And they seem to have a lab set up here. You can see FEV samples. I'm going to grab a couple of those. It's kind of a novel item to find. And then over here we have a button and a setup with a bunch of ghouls in some kind of little fake neighborhood. Now, I kept pushing this button and wondering what was supposed to happen. I am only realizing now, as I look back through this video, that I could have stuck the FEV in that container on the wall to my left. The upside to my oblivion is that I've left a little bit of the mystery for you to find out, so that's going to be pretty cool. Put that FEV in there. Tell me what happens.
I think we should find shelter.
Our next stop is a Brotherhood of Steel bunker in the middle of the glowing sea. Okay, let's get in out of the rads and see who we have to deal with. It's usually ghouls in a building like this. Yep, this time is no exception. Again, the Deadly Commonwealth expansion has those half-feral ghoul soldiers that show up, and I like that. I'm going to throw plasma grenades this time because the FEV just, I don't have that much faith in them. Plus, they're very expensive to buy at the shop from Barrett. Looks like the plasma grenades are, you know, doing something. But we've got to deal with some of these guys the old-fashioned way. Always fun. That guy's got no head. I'm impressed. I'm impressed he's still on his feet with no head. I've seen them lose arms, but you would think they'd still need, like, some kind of brain. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, nasty. Alright, you can see these bloated, glowing ones are also part of the Deadly Commonwealth expansion. They have a bunch of different cool feral enemy types on the level list. But once we've cleared this out, we can get ourselves to the bunker hatch for the abandoned base of the Brotherhood of Steel. It says abandoned, so I wonder how much opposition we're going to encounter down here. Once we do show up, we see, yeah, this is looking pretty rough. Ghouls are in residence though, so we will face some enemies here. Oh, there's another one. We take a couple of the feral ghouls out, and now I'm curious who these bodies are laying around. Like, somebody chiseled their way into this bunker, and these guys laying on the ground do not look like Brotherhood of Steel soldiers, so I'm not sure what went down here. Let's take a look. Yep, raiders. So there are raiders in residence. It looks to me like the ghouls and the raiders were taking each other out, because I don't see Brotherhood bodies anywhere in this place. In each room we go into, there is lots of Brotherhood... Wow! I've never seen one of those gurneys move so fast. Every room we go into, there's lots of Brotherhood paraphernalia. Really cool room design by Mr.ColonelMustard, by the way. Doing his classic spotlight in your face thing around most corners. I'm still getting used to that. But the only enemies we find are the ghouls themselves. Lots of good loot. It's Mr. ColonelMustard stuff, so, you know, you're going to walk out of here with as much as you feel like carrying, of course. But it looks to me like these Brotherhood soldiers were stocked pretty deep for weapons. Check this out. For an abandoned base, it's well stocked, so it makes you wonder whether they pulled out on purpose or whether they were forced out of here all of a sudden. I don't see their bodies anywhere, though, so I get the feeling the Brotherhood all got out of here in one piece. All we can do is go deeper and see if we can find out. Opening the door, we see some bodies hanging and some ghouls. You know, the hanging bodies are a bit of a raider trademark, so I don't think that's like a hung themselves kind of thing, but I don't know, is that how the Brotherhood of Steel went out here? Aquapura, nice touch, nice to find that here. Coming from the Capital Wasteland, they would have that kind of thing on them. Alright, the final room. The glowing one on the floor. I took him out through the door, you know, cheap shot. I take those cheap shots. What else do we find? Floodlights in our face, of course. Looks like some robot workbenches. Looks like we get some T60 power armor. About time. They keep offering us this T45 stuff, and I gotta tell you, by the way I was taking out those Brotherhood outcasts, T45 I guess does not cut the mustard at this level. Alright, lots of loot around here. Plenty of that. I'm not going to show you all the loot. You know, you can come here and grab it all up for yourselves, but there is a Brotherhood Intel holotape that I'm hoping will shed a little bit of light on what happened here. And popping it in and playing it, we find out a number of useful things. This was Recon Squad Hercules. They were here in the Commonwealth to just do a long-range scan for the Brotherhood, a long-range recon operation. They found a strange signal emanating from this place and realized it was a pre-war military installation that could be really helpful as a base, so they set up their base here and called it New Hills. There isn't, however, anything to tell us why they aren't here anymore. Their extraction was an undetermined amount of time according to the logs that we find on that holotape, so maybe their mission just timed out. Maybe they just left and some raiders moved in. I mean, here's one laying on the table. But it's interesting how much got left here. We do find a recipe for aqua pura on that table, by the way. So now we can make that at a chemistry bench, which is pretty cool. And before we leave, I try another door that just won't open, no matter what I do. So I guess we're never going to get through that door. It doesn't seem to do anything when I push the button. I don't think it needs more power or anything like that. If you know something I don't about this, let me know in the comments. So there you go. We have found the Brotherhood Recon Bunker, and it's pretty cool. I really do like the look and design of it. It's got some great loot in here, some neat stuff. I like hearing a little bit of the lore behind the Brotherhood scouting out the Commonwealth before they arrived under Maxim. And now to the Enclave faithful, I have a surprise for you. I have an Enclave mod for you to take a look at. Behind me to the right, you can see a set of Enclave Exo2 Black Devil power armor by Cypher. There are a few Black Devil mods out there. This one looks amazing. Now, you don't even have to upgrade this armor. It comes straight out of the gate with stats every bit as strong as the Exo 1 Tier 6 armor right behind me. If we compared these directly, you'd see the same numbers on all their pieces. We're just going to look at the torsos: 420, 310, 300 damage reduction, respectively, 860 health, and a weight of 31. If we look at the Exo 2, we see 420, 310, 300 damage reduction, 860 health, and a weight of 24, which is a savings. Plus, look at this stuff, huh? This Tesla version looks just so good. And since we're going to need some rad protection for our next location, an NCR crashed vertibird ship in the glowing sea, why not have some rad protection with style? And here we are, nearly upon the crashed vertibird. You can see it there, outlined against that misty, foggy fallout sky. NCR crash site discovered. We can see the NCR logo on the side of the vertibird. That's pretty cool to see in Fallout 4, I have to admit. And then we see the NCR flag there waving. So it looks like after the crash, someone put up a flag. There must have been a survivor. We should look around for whoever that would have been. Here we have our quest marker on an old sewer hatch. You never know what you're going to get on an old Colonel Mustard mod. There might be enemies down here, or there might not. It might just be a lot of environmental storytelling. I'm not going to take any chances. These Protectrons are just going out. I'm just going to take them out. Okay. Well, that one's out of the way. Don't know if it ever would have been hostile anyhow. I'm not going to show you all the loot here, but there is some. And there is some cool NCR paraphernalia as well. We see a drifter, but he's not the one we're looking for. This isn't the NCR guy that we're trying to find. There must have been a survivor. This drifter's not it. So we grab a few of the useful items and we move on through this area. Entering the next room, I'm ready for enemies, but I don't see any. So far, this has been a pretty quiet place to explore. What I do see is a lot more NCR paraphernalia, flags, promotional stuff. I like seeing this. It's really fun. Check out this sign about the NCR Ranger. This man is your friend. And it looks like this bunker is pretty well stocked. A bunch of sniper rifles, some other good supplies. So if you want 50 caliber ammo, you're taken care of. That's not the only thing. I also find through a locked security gate that there was a little sleeping area here that must have belonged to this survivor from the NCR. He's got all the flags and everything laying around. And then he has some other cool stuff that's fun to find. NCR money, things like that. And he left us a holotape explaining what has happened. I won't read all of it because a lot of this I feel like is important for you guys to find out about, but there are some logs here that talk about how he crash landed on a recon mission. The vertibird they had was like an older one that crashed because of an electromagnetic storm out here in the glowing sea, and I guess to sum up, he's found the glowing sea pretty inhospitable ever since. If you're wondering about the terminal in this same room, the entries are just repeats of what we can find on the holotape logs, which really just leaves us with one last question. What happened to the NCR Ranger that survived the vertibird crash? We found all kinds of evidence that he set up here and not the man himself. Well, here's our answer. This glowing one was busy feeding on something. And that something turns out to be the NCR Ranger we were looking for. He has some interesting items on him. Bull barrel pistol, scoped lever action rifle, that's nice. Some NCR dollars, that's cool. But the real find here is the Ranger helmet, the Ranger gloves, and the Ranger suit. This is some new cool stuff we get to wear. Now, I am going to show you what the NCR stuff looks like and what its stats are But let's just take a minute to appreciate that we are living in a wonderful time to be a Fallout 4 fan, where modders like Cypher are giving us this XO2 power armor, where modders like Mr.ColonelMustard are giving us amazing homages to previous Fallout games and some cool Enclave content, and we can't forget how much the team behind America Rising 2 has given us. If we like some Enclave content, if we just like a Fallout 4 with a richer, deeper experience, they have given us so much, like this US Army surplus base that we're walking through right now. Now let's talk about this NCR gear we just picked up. The defensive stats aren't anything to scream about, but you can apply weave. They have some special stat bonuses for agility, perception, charisma, and strength, so you get all those boosts. I think this stuff would be really great for any kind of theme playthrough, or even if you just want a different look, because as you can see, they're pretty worn in, but they are also pretty distinct. You've got kind of a bell-bottom type flare on the bottom of the pant legs. That's got a nice California vibe to it, and you definitely have that iconic Ranger look going with this outfit. I really like it. I'm super grateful to Mr. Colonel Mustard and his team for providing this for us. Believe it or not though, the Lima Detachment mod is far from done showing us new things. In the next video, we're going to check out the location of the Zulu outpost. It is a full-on experience. I can't wait for you to see it. In the meantime, please download Lima Detachment for yourself, or the Enclave XO2 Black Devil Power Armor mod by Cypher. Have fun with them. I love hearing from you about what you guys are doing in your playthroughs and your ideas for the game. Also, if you enjoy my content, give this video a like. Hit that subscribe button. Help me grow this channel so I can keep making more videos for you, and I will see you in the next one.